Boy, welcome everybody. A few minutes late to my own party, of course, as usual, fashionably late. Welcome everybody to the Friday night show. Let's pull the live stream chat in here. Welcome. And look, I have it set to live chat. I remembered this time. You guys are great. You remind me all these things, and I love that you hit the like. You didn't hit the like button on the way in. Get on down there. Hit that like button. Get that up, and let's all celebrate. This is Friday evening with a wobbly pop. I'm done with my round of antibiotics, so I can get back and enjoy one of these. I've been missing them. This is great. Welcome everybody. Cheers to everyone out there. Leave a comment telling me where you're viewing from. I love to poll this every once in a while. I don't do it every single time, but I love to hear where you guys are from. There's a whole lot of new people in the audience. There's a bunch of people who filed out, but we'll get into why in a bit tonight, because I'd love to discuss that. But hey, let me know where you're at in the chat and give a big old cheers. I love seeing that. Love seeing that a ton. Man, I was waiting for that. It is delicious. Ooh, good old BC brews. Good old BC brews. Kelowna, BC, Clyde, Glenn Beadshaw. Thanks for letting me know. Why don't I get this bigger? I need to make this bigger so I can read your chats much better. Let me make that happen. Let me get one of these windows out. Oops, excuse me. Burping already, and get that much larger. There we go. Now we can see there. Austin, Texas says hi. I don't know how to pronounce that, but if you're in Austin, hit me up on Twitter in the DMs. I want to meet some people in the community, because I'm gonna have to get to know some locals when I get down there. I'd love to meet some of the like-minded people in the air. I'm pretty sure there'd be some more like-minded people in Texas, of course. But yeah, let me know. Anyone who's in the audience that's in the Texas, Austin, Texas area, let me know, because we'll be down there at some point. We are on our way. Yo, Clyde, how was the earthquake? I guess we could get into that. Why don't we get into that? Because this is I've been tweeting about all kinds of stuff today. I'm turning into a Marty up north. I've been tweeting so much lately. But yeah, the earthquake popped off, and I felt it. It was a thing that happened, but it wasn't terrifying. I've been in some terrifying earthquakes. I was in Japan in 2011 when that big old one happened, and yeah, Ottawa is very that. Yeah, that's for sure. How's the temp in Austin, Texas? I don't know. I'd have to check on my phone. I keep that on my weather app just because, just to find out what it's going to be. It's not that warm. Not at all. It's actually warmer here. I'm not kidding. Wow. It's warmer here right now than it is in Texas. Okay. That's a thing. But that's Austin's too liberal. Well, for Texas, this is a funny thing, because you hear that stuff. I threw this argument out there. I said, Canada is left of California, and a lot of people got upset by me saying that. Now, I'm not saying that all the people in Canada are left of California. A lot of them are, but when it comes to policies, yeah, absolutely, it's left of California. So the make Austin Texan again. Well, I'll do my best. Except I'm Canadian, moving there, dual citizen, but I grew up here. I can't wait for the culture shock. I'm really looking forward to that. IFO connoisseur with a $5 super chat says, I'm truly saddened how many lemmings in this country suddenly became Canadian patriots. Yeah, it was crazy too. It is crazy because in the past couple of days, we've had hundreds of new people come join the channel. But when there were very few voices speaking out about this, it felt like a mass formation psychosis going on. It felt like that. And holy cow, it was like one of those moments. People were unsubscribing from the channel and whatnot. It was crazy. I don't know if people are coming back because they're like, tail between the legs or whatever, or maybe they're gone forever and more new people have joined. But welcome everybody who's new or has come back. It's crazy. Clyde is not moving anywhere. No, so okay, I have to. Maybe there's many people that don't know the story, what's going on with the whole thing. So my family, we were rent evicted from our property. We're going on like 7 or 8 months ago, and we're in a temporary situation until my wife can get her green card. I'm a dual citizen, American citizen. But we've been priced out of the market here. We've been completely priced out of the market here in British Columbia. And we thought about it long and hard. We thought, hey, if we gotta make a big move, where are we gonna move to? Because we can't stay in this area. So we looked around and we're like, why wouldn't we just move to the US? That's the likely answer right there. So we're doing the immigration stuff the legal way for my wife, my kids, and myself. Easy peasy, just cross the border, American citizens. But yeah, it's one of those things. Honestly, Clyde, probably better off in South Texas or anywhere but Austin. We're not moving to Austin. We're moving near the Austin area. So yeah, no, it's good stuff where we're going. Don't you worry. And the idea is to be somewhere central where we can travel to all the different places in Texas. That's the idea as well. So be central, be mobile. Great stuff. Utaka with the $10 super chat saying the lefties are touting Carney's resume, how it's bigger than PP's. My resume is bigger than your PP. Mine's bigger pissing contest, but all they're doing is flexing how many conflicts of interest the guy has. Yeah, it's actually true. It's crazy. Big. The guy's a one-trick pony. When it comes to government, he's like, let's turn on that printing press, and that's his way out of everything. I mean, he's Trudeau on, I was gonna say steroids, on HRT maybe. Hormone replacement therapy. I don't know. That's he's dangerous. He really is. North 49 RC. It's terrible how qualified Red Seal tradesmen cannot support his family in these times. You're telling me. And it's not that I don't make decent money at my job. It's not a case of that at all. It's just it's unbelievably expensive here. If I told you the rents, like in my little town, which is not Vancouver, it's outside, the prices have bid up so much that rents for things, I mean, we're talking like 2-bedroom apartments go for $3,000 a month. Like, it's crazy. My family, we're living in a tight quarters temporarily until we can get things out of here, but then that's the thing. So Clyde about to make the biggest mistake of his life, moving to Austin, Texas. Okay, well, I mean, we all take our own risks. I made a big risk moving out here. I made a big risk moving to Japan, then moving back to British Columbia. These are the things that we do. So to each their own. I'm gonna put in my risks, and we'll see how that goes. That's the thing. You'll love it. There you go. Lots of people saying there's a bit of a mix always with all of these things. Don't do it. You're going to make a mistake. I remember when I left Windsor, Ontario, all the people that I knew that would say, it's a weird thing. I don't know why. Tell me why Canada is such a crabs in the bucket kind of place. But I would get so many people commenting saying, you'll be back. You're not gonna make it. You'll be back here and you'll be doing I was not back. I'm not back. That's the thing. So I would suggest to people, take risks, get on out there and take your risks and try new things. Granite Man with $5 super chat says, is that us U.S. Democrat Party created KKK after Civil War That is true. Then later blamed Republican Party as racist. Yeah. Liberal Party, same, blame PC as racist. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So that's absolutely true. The history of the Democrat Party, the Ku Klux Klan was the it was what did they call it? They call it the militant wing of the Democrat Party. This is true. This is very true. This is what they did. Antarctica, or is that where we're moving to next? If you're gonna move south, go all the way. Go all the way until your dial stops. It turns around on you. No, that's crazy. Yeah, okay. But yeah, no, it's very true. It's very true. And then they turned it around. And yeah, then they started blaming the Republicans for being racist, which is crazy, because if people who know their history know that the first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln, the guy who freed the slaves, the emancipation candidate. The first black representative was a Republican. I mean, like, there were so many firsts, and they were all with Republicans. It's unbelievable how people are so, what do you call it? They have amnesia on even like recent history. It's not that long ago, but yeah, it's. I mean, we see the same amnesia here in Canada. For example, maybe I should bring this up. Because this was something that I just don't understand. And man, do I even have an example of it? Should I? How would I find this on? Maybe pull it up on Twitter. But we get a lot of these things, especially from the PPC people on X, and I find it off-putting. What would you call it? I don't even know how you'd find this. You get all these. How do I even find a thing on it? I don't think you could search it. Anyway, what you get is I get this in my comments quite frequently, and I'd have to search all the way through my comments. But I get images of Pierre Poilievre or Jagmeet Singh or Trudeau or anybody going to gurdwaras in Canada. And a gurdwara is a Sikh religious, place or whatever. And they'll say like this, oh, see, this is the point. This is showing that he has no loyalties to Canada. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, are you offended if you go to a Scottish club and the guy wears a kilt? Is that offensive to you? Are you offended if a guy goes to a synagogue and puts a yarmulke on his head? Are you offended if somebody goes to a Catholic church, takes his hat off? Like, it doesn't really equate to me. And then you might say like, oh, but they're Indians and he's kowtowing to the Indians. You know how far back our history with Sikh people goes. I hope people understand this. I was talking about this with my coworker today. He's ex-British military. He emigrated to Canada and now he works as a mechanic. And he's fought in wars. He's fought in all these wars. He's fought in Desert Storm. He's been in a lot of conflicts around the world. So he's a bit older than me. So that's why Desert Storm. But Afghanistan, all these places. British arms. The Sikhs go back fighting with British army longer than Canada has ever existed. Like, the Sikh and the Brits have such a relationship. It goes back longer than Canada is. So I think people should really stop. And these are a lot of these accounts are people that have like the British ensign. And they don't like to use the Canadian flag. They'll use the British ensign because they're like, going back to our roots. If you're going back to your roots, remember your roots. The Sikh people have been part of our roots for longer than Canada's been Canada. So I really want to throw that out there because, like, get real. stop pulling all this crap out there, because you clearly don't know our history. I think people need a bit of a reminder on this. So just throwing that out there. So when one of our politicians goes to a gurdwara and puts a head covering on, it's no different than, again, going to a Rabbi Burns event and putting on a kilt. It's no different than going to a synagogue and putting on a yarmulke. It's no different than going to the Catholic Church and wearing what Catholics would wear. It's no different than a lot of these things. It's called respect. So anyway, just throwing that one out there. Granite Man with a $2 super chat. Mackenzie King, liberal PM, interned Japanese World War II. Yes, that happened. That was a blight on our history. That actually, the people who were interned were compensated. Now, there is no compensation really for what took place there, but at least there was. We hear all this stuff about like reparations for people. Reparations are due to the people that actually the thing actually happened to. And if you've been wronged by somebody or by the government personally, yes, you deserve to have some sort of remuneration for your hardship. This is a thing. Old stock Sikhs, yes, absolutely. Which would be anyone who's Sikh. I mean, who's old stock? What's old stock, new stock? I don't know. I'm new stock Canadian. My dad's American and my mom's Scottish. So I don't know. I don't know the difference between old stock and new stock. What's an old stock? What's a new stock? I do know that unfettered immigration from in any way, shape, or form will cause all kinds of problems, and especially if you're not bringing in skilled people, and you have a lot of unskilled people who are trying to take up entry level positions in our marketplace. I think this is what gets confused here. I think there's definitely a crisis of unskilled people coming to Canada in huge numbers, and yes, a lot of them come from one particular region in Punjab, and that's gonna breed the animosity with those people, of course. And those the people that have been promised things, sorry, you're probably gonna have to go. And if you came on a temporary thing, well, temporary has a meaning, and we're gonna have to stick with that moving forward. Diane Sylvain, member for 12 months, says, tagged you in a comment on X article in American Thinker by a Canadian author, David M. Haskell. He agrees with you on no Canadian voters in U.S. Oh, I didn't see that article. But yeah, I've been saying this for some time. The Americans don't want a Canadian demographic in their voter base. Again, especially a Republican president is not going to bring in a lefter than California voting bloc. Just don't want it. I doubt that's going to happen. And I'm not sure how sincere all this stuff about the 51st state is. I know it's a fun meme, and a lot of people are having a lot of fun with it. A lot of people are getting really upset about it, and that's what I find hilarious. And what's gotten a lot of people upset with me, because I like having a joke. I guess we have that dark humor. That's why we named the dark roast coffee on the site dark humor. By the way, if you haven't yet, try the coffee. People are raving about it. It's amazing, because people are writing back to us and they're saying, UG, Clyde, the coffee is fantastic. Love it. Sign me up for more. Let's get more of that coming. So yeah, make sure the link is in the description down below. We have a special sale on because we just hit 150,000 subscribers on the channel. So we've got a special sale on the Wobbly Pops t-shirts, and we have a special sale going on with the medium roast, the make Americanos great again. It's the MAGA medium. I hope everyone gets on over there and gives it a go. Yes, we're having a sale. This is it's just so good. It's just so good. Really, I love how UG queued that up right on the website. But yeah, go on over to ClydeDoSomething.com and get some of that coffee. Been getting a big boost because of people quitting the woke coffee. Apparently, not even Canadian owned. Most people didn't know that, but it's not even Canadian owned Kicking Horse coffee. Got off of that train and started trying Clyde Brew something, and people are hooked. They're loving it. They're absolutely loving it. IFO Connoisseur with another $5 super chat saying, ethnicity should not matter, but if you are going to be here, you should aspire to the values that made this country work. A lot of them don't. And this is what happens when you have a diaspora of large quantities of people coming into one geographical area at any given time. I think that if people are to assimilate into Canada, it should be a slow trickle of people that, you know, come with skills, come with all the things. We've historically had merit-based immigration. We should get back to that, but come with skills, but not mass amounts of people into one area in one given time. What it does is it creates enclaves, and then you get what you're describing here. You get people who there's no reason to learn the language. There's no reason to adjust to the customs. It is really just okay, I just live in a colder place that you know feels and is everything just like Punjab. So I mean that's a thing, and I mean a lot of Indians would attest to exactly what I'm saying here. Granite Man $2 says for $2 says seek Canadian great Canadians recognized terrorist organization not. So you're talking about the Khalistanis. Yeah, those guys are weirdos. Those guys are total weirdos. I don't get on with the Khalistanis, but that's the thing. All Khalistanis are Sikhs, but not all Sikhs are Khalistanis. Just remember that. And it's actually a really, really small group of individuals. And they're the total weirdos. It's crazy. Alex Doe becoming a member of the channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Welcome to the channel. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with all the chatting going on here. Yeah, this is what I love the Friday night chats for is specifically this. Watch the MCGA and Trudeau's brother interview. Nice combo on the global elite failed state of Canada, abandoned Westminster system, and JT's hands-on teaching method. Yeah, got awkward. Yeah. I saw a bit of what's his name, Kyle Kemper's thing. I put out a short of some of the things he was saying about JT. Alex Doe gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much. Wow. If you just got a membership, get on in the chat and give Alex Doe a big old thank you for the membership. Wow, that's amazing. Are you correcting me? No, not me. I'm not typing anything. Oh, so I saw the Kyle Kemper interview. Nothing really different said from other interviews. Yeah, fair enough. There was that one cryptic thing where he said, like, Justin, if you know, should I even just show it? Yeah, perhaps I'll just show it, because there was that one segment I clipped it out and made a short about it because I was suffering with the eye infection. I was like, what can I do? Okay, I'll make a short. You know, I'm always trying to be productive, you know, but sometimes you can't because you got other things going on. Let me pop this up on the screen here. What is Justin Trudeau's brother trying to tell us here?
To anybody who's been blackmailed out there, or went to a white party, for example, and took a sip of a drink.
What's a white party? Let me know in the chat.
Crazy, and then you're a little bit disconnected from reality, and all of a sudden you find yourself participating in some sort of sick ritual, and guess what? You find out later that that was all recorded, and now you need to do what we tell you to do.
We penetrate the cabinets.
You're a
penetrate
victim.
some things.
You were trapped. You may have consciously made that decision, but by giving in to the blackmail and continuing to do the orders and execute the tyranny of the extreme minority that seeks to rule through blackmail, coercion, deception, division, release yourself from that.
Release yourself from them. This is the advice of his little brother, Kyle Kemper. Well, let's see what happens. People saying it's a Diddy party. Diddy did the white parties. Okay, I'm not familiar with that stuff. I haven't really been following a lot of that stuff. I know there's a lot of people that do, so I leave that to them because there's some people that have just the expertise. G-Meister, member for 32 months, and a moderator in the chat here tonight. The like button is still free, and there's more memberships on the way. Well, there we go. Yeah, we're at like what, a 50% ratio of people viewing the live stream and likes on the live stream. Guys, hit that like button. It's free, it's easy. Get it on down there. Hit that like button. It helps out the channel a whole ton. So really appreciate it if you guys hit that like button. It really helps. Granite Man for $2 says, will Carney's business with Liberal Party exposed? Yeah, well, we'll see about that, because there's quite a bit of that. Conflicts of interest, to say the least. Holy cow. Yeah, G-Meister giving 5 memberships to the channel. Thanks G, and everybody in the chat that just got a membership, make sure you give G-Meister a big old thank you for that one. That's amazing. Now, another thing that was amazing that really got me inspired. Inspired the word I'm looking for? This is something that really got me hyped up, and this was Have Your Melee posting this on Twitter. He went down and he visited Elon Musk, and I don't want to ruin it. Let's backtrack it and rewind a little bit and get to this. So he came to Washington, D.C., it looks like, and met up with Elon Musk. Holy cow, you guys are crazy. Steve's Hyde, member for 18 months, saying, I apologize if you've talked about this already, but Dougie in Ontario just sent us all $200 because of Trump. The guy is supposed to be conservative. He's not conservative. That's why we need primaries, mandatory primaries in the country before elections. Before every election, there should be mandatory primary for all parties. I think that should be a thing. Actually, that's something that this guy has implemented in Argentina, which is great, and I hold him up in pretty high esteem because he's doing some great things down south there. Diane Sylvain for $10 says, as a retired Fed prosecutor, I wish we had a Pam Bondi and a Kash Patel release the lists. Yeah, it would be great if we had some of the administration that Donald Trump has. That is awesome. And speaking of which, here is the video of Have Your Melee with a special gift for Elon Musk. No, I can't play that music. Okay, I gotta put it on silent. Because they'll claim that. So he's obviously, it's Bad to the Bone playing, and he comes in, gives Elon Musk a big hug. You can't really hear what they're saying because there's just so much noise going on, people talking, all of this stuff. But this is the best. The present that he gets from Have Your Melee right here, a chainsaw, a silver chainsaw. It is so awesome. That's wicked, and I'm jealous. I want one. I want a big old chainsaw that says "Afuera" on it. That would be amazing. Grooveyard 63 gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much, Grooveyard. Wow, everybody who just got a membership, give old Grooveyard a big thank you in the chat. Afuera. Exactly. That's what I like to see. I like to see this kind of stuff. And I like to see collaboration between nations. We're not having much of a collaboration with our nation at the present moment. No. We're having all kinds of dysfunction right now. Right now, we are definitely having dysfunction. And this is some of the dysfunction that we're seeing within the Liberal Party. This is crazy. Alex Doe gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Wow, Alex, thank you so much. Wow, so generous of you. Really appreciate that. That's outrageous. Thank you. Wow, amazing. All right, everybody who just got a membership from Alex Doe, get in there and give him a big old thank you. Thank you. Alex Doe, you're based right now, fam. Oh, that's awesome. This is everyone a member. Let's make everyone a member. Let's wow, that would be incredible. Holy. But speaking of all the things being given out, make sure to hit the like button on your way in. I know there's more people coming in, so I have to give the reminders, but we're just above the halfway point. We're just at the halfway point for likes. So get on down there, hit that like button, get that happening. It helps out so very much, and I appreciate it absolutely every time. Let me know if there's anything going wrong with the chat, because I did put it on live chat this time, but some people have been saying that some of their messages haven't been coming up. I have moderators saying that moderators, they check it all and they're looking it over. But that's the thing. Congrats on 150,000 subscribers. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. It's amazing. And in celebration, we have a sale on the Clyde Do Something store. So go over there. Clyde Brew Something coffee. The MAGA medium, making Americanos great again, is on sale right now. And so is the Wobbly Pops t-shirt, as we're ramping up to bring out some more new designs. But we need to move some of this as well. IFO Connoisseur for 5 says, I think Polyev should go on Rogan about 1 month prior to the election. Whenever it happens, what do you guys think? I agree. I'd like to see Pierre come on this show. I'd like to see Pierre. I'm worried. I put the feelers out there, try to make it happen. I'm worried that, maybe am I scary and I'm too I ask too many tough questions, perhaps. I don't know. Or is that something that Pierre would be keen on? I would love to have. I like these open, long form conversations as opposed to like short chats that just end up with what would you call it? Like taglines and phrases and stuff like that. I would slogans. Yeah, I would like to have something a little bit more with some more substance, that kind of thing. Candace Malcolm at Juno just interviewed Pierre. Yes, she did. Have some wobbly pops with Sam Cooper. I would love to. Absolutely, Sam Cooper. If you hear this, follow me back on Twitter so we can DM with each other and then arrange for that. Are you serious? I am serious. Alex Doe for the member. Thanks, Alex Doe, for the membership. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you guys are chatting about this now. Way over half on likes. Yep, over half, but not quite there yet. Come on, let's get them up. If you haven't hit the like button yet, get on down there. Hit that like button. So let's talk about this. Breaking: Ruby Dhalla disqualified from the liberal leadership race. Now it's getting absurd. It's getting absurd because it's more and more every day looking like they're just trying to install Carney, right? They set the bar really high for how much you have to fundraise to get in. They set the bar really high for all these other things. Chandra Arya was doing really good. He was doing great. He's a liberal MP. He's elected in the party, and they disqualified him for reasons unknown. Independents need to get Carney on and poke holes into his agenda. Carney's not going to come on my show. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'll throw the feelers out there, though. I'll reach out to the campaign, but let's just say he's probably not going to oblige. I would see Clyde on American what? What was that? On American what? On American podcasts. Yeah, you'd love to see me on American podcasts. I'd love to be on some. And that is a big reason for the Austin move. So the reason, to go to Texas, but then be near the Austin area. That's where a lot of the podcasts are happening. Mr. Roscoe Pico with a $20 super chat. Very generous. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Holy cow, it's jumping in there. Lots of them immediately right now. I keep bothering you about McKinsey Pharmaceutical. Please have a look at their lawsuit. $650 million in USE use. They are not allowed to operate, but Carney has been working with them since 2013 in Britain. It's all kind of fishy. Yes, you have mentioned McKinsey Pharmaceutical, and I'm going to be honest with you. I dropped the ball, and I haven't done research on that. So many other things have popped up, but let me see if there's something I can find soon. If I put it in a tab, I know it's going to be one of those things where, oh, I was looking this thing up. You know, if I at least put some effort onto it. So apologies for that. I will look into it. McKinsey and Company. Yes. Okay, that's on my agenda now. Thank you so much, Mr. Roscoe Pico. I'll check into some of that. The lovely Miss Trish Brew with the $6.99 super chat. Did they take Ruby's last ointment before disqualification? Payment. Did they take Ruby's last payment before disqualification? Dyslexia. If it's misspelled, I'm like, what? Did they take her last payment before disqualification? Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, well, that's an interesting one because, yeah, she paid up. She was ready to pay up for all the stuff to get her job or her position in the leadership race. Some fishy stuff going on with the Liberals. It's unbelievable. Mike, and it's cut off. I don't know why it's cut off. Why can't I read the whole name? Let me pop this one out as well so I can read some reason these things they'll cut people's names off on these chats, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce that anyway. So Mike Mahal, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with a $5 super chat, says she's notified on power and politics by David Cochrane, not the party. She was notified. Yes, we're going to get into that. So that's something else too, that she didn't even know. They didn't tell her. It was just conveyed to her after the fact, she learned about it by reading about it in the news, which is gross. That's just insane. Denny Ringass with a $24.99 super chat. Thank you so much. There's no message, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's great. Freeland did a podcast interview on some YouTube channel. Canada is boring. Did you see it? I saw clips of it. But a lot of these, when you dig, you'll find out that these YouTube channels, they actually have like insider connections and stuff like that. I'm no insider. I'm an outsider. I'm an outsider. I just used to be the Bank of Canada governor. No, I'm not that kind of outsider. Genuinely, I'm just a mechanic that just picked up a microphone one day and started talking. So I'm a nobody when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, it's fishy. It's fishy. All the stuff. Question everything. Absolutely. Micap. Oh, how do you pronounce that? Micapiter? I hope I'm saying that right. Micapiter with a $5 super chat. No message, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm all caught up. Another conservative you need to bring on is Larry Brock, Preston Manning, or Stephen Harper. Yeah, if any of them want to come on my show, I don't know. I don't have any contacts for these individuals, but I would love to speak with any one of them, especially Stephen Harper, because I'm fascinated with economics. His training's in economics. I don't agree with everything he says, but I don't disagree with everything he says. I'd love to discuss some of these ideas that he has. And obviously he still has political, leverage in Ottawa, all that stuff. But yeah, he would be an interesting person to have a conversation with. Troy Hargrove for $4.99. You'll love the Austin area. I moved to Houston to be closer to now the Gulf of America. Love going back over to see family and friends. Awesome. That's great. That's really cool. I love hearing this stuff. So from the Austin area, that's really cool. I can't wait to meet people over there. This is a hard thing when you're new to the neighborhood, and then you got to make all new friends, all that stuff. I think some people in the community, if I could get a leg up on that, it would make things a little easier for us. Robert McFallon with a $5 super chat says, have you paid attention to the Helen Gruss situation? No, I have not. Helen Gruss was that the police officer? Okay, so yeah, I'm correct on that. It was the police officer. No, I haven't. I don't have any of the details on that situation. There's just too many stories going on. So if I get any information on that, I'd love to share that with you guys. But until then, that's where I'm at. Alex Doe gifting another 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much, Alex Doe, and everybody out there. Give Alex Doe a thank you if you've just received a membership from him. That's amazing. That is really amazing. Thank you so much. It's so very helpful for everything that I'm doing here. So I can't say how much I appreciate that. Really, thank you so much. Let's get into this. So back and forth with the chat. This is a Friday evening. This is the way it works here on Fridays. We shuffle around and go on rants, and we do all kinds of stuff. These are the ways we do things. But let's get into this. So do they give a reason for this? Not that I've seen yet. And why all the pop-ups? Ruby Dhalla, go away. Ruby Dhalla disqualified from Liberal leadership race. Former MP Ruby Dhalla, she was elected. She was elected for the Liberal Party. They were happy to have her as a Liberal. Same with Chandra Arya. Totally happy having him as a Liberal still, even today. But they kick him out of the race. This is weird. This is absolutely strange. Theorica with a $20 super chat. Word on the street is that internal Lib polling showed that Ruby is more popular than Carney. Recall the media, and the last 2 pollsters are skewing numbers and narrative. Yeah, we're gonna get into some of this. You guys are beating me to the punch on all of it. You guys are the news now. I'll rely on you. I think I'll get the chat in every morning. Help me out with these stories. You guys are killing it. So former MP Ruby Dhalla has been disqualified from the Liberal Party race. This is where we're at now. Liberal Party of Canada said in a press release her ouster comes amid questions about campaign finances and possible allegations of foreign interference. How convenient, right? The Liberals don't have any foreign interference unless it's somebody they don't want to install in their party. That's right. I mean, what about all the other foreign interference they got no problem with? But all of a sudden, people genuinely take a liking to Ruby Dhalla, and it might actually this might actually be because conservative voters and people from all over Canada, all walks of life, have been getting memberships in the Liberal Party and have been voting for her or look like they're gonna vote for her. So they're worried that they're gonna get the rug swept out from under them in what we call Democracy! That's right. They don't like the idea of democracy. That's one of these things. It's so funny. The comedy writes itself at this point. It's just unbelievable that the liberals are completely against this concept of democratic representation, even when it comes to their party. Now, this is something I celebrate, and I've been celebrating this for some time. I said that the way to do this is to I pointed out the way to change politics in Canada is to do it at the party level. Don't worry about the general elections. General elections are going to go the way they go. I mean, it's hard to really steer a general election. But if you want what was the South Park where, you know, they have the election and they're all wondering who they're going to vote for, whether it's going to be the turd sandwich or the douchebag, right? This is how you change that system. You change that system by getting involved in the party politics. You get involved at the party level and you put in the people that you want. And or you put in the people that you know won't get elected. This is how the game works, folks. And if liberals, if you don't like it, change your rules. Change your rules. Your rules are the way they are. But instead, what are they doing? They're going against their own rules and they're disqualifying candidates just because it looks like they might win. It's unbelievable. They want the illusion of democracy, but they don't actually like democracy. Holy cow. Stange wants more funding for the CBC. Well, you can get into that too if you want. I was planning to talk about it, but we'll see how these live streams go. I end up going on some tangents and we end up going over here, going over there, it goes where it goes. So we'll see how this one goes. Liberal Leadership Vote Committee unanimously made the decision following, you know, the committee will unanimously vote in a certain way, but they don't, they can't rely on the voting public to make a decision. Oh boy. Diane Sylvain with a $10 super chat says, I saw Trump shred the governor of Maine to her face. A governor meeting as she did not want to apply no men in sports. Pierre should be the same way. Can you pull up that clip? Yes, afuera. I actually saw that clip just about an hour ago. I was really stoked to see that. Steve's Hyde with a $5 super chat says, the people who yell the loudest about democracy really don't seem to like democracy, eh? No, they don't. No, they don't. Whether it's the Democrats in America. Now, let's always be accurate in when you're talking about them. It's the Democrat Party. Don't call it the Democratic Party. There's nothing democratic about it. And the liberals are very illiberal. They talk about democracy backsliding because it's what they're doing. It's absolutely what they're doing. It's unbelievable. Let's pull up that clip though real quick because I do want to showcase that because that was great and it's amazing. I think things are turning around because people are starting to show how much they actually like Trump again here in Canada. Because I don't know, this whole Team Canada PSYOP thing, people were really buying into it. I'm glad a lot of people have gotten over it. What would it be? Trump. Let's try sports. See if it comes up as one of the clips. I'm sure it'll come up. Nope. No. Was it the governor of Maine? It might come up under that. There's the okay, I got a picture of the governor of Maine. I got to find the clip though. She was not very happy with the situation. I think I found it. Calls out Maine Governor Janet Mills. Yeah, Janet Mills. Janet Mills, incidentally, wants to have dudes, big strong dudes, fighting with little women in sports, combat sports even. Not cool. Not cool at all. Democracy starts with input from Canadians at the grassroots level. The best grassroots movement I was involved in was the old Reform Party of Canada. Yeah. Please tap the thumbs up for Clyde. Please get on down there. Get on down there. Hit that like button. Holy cow, we still haven't reached parity with the likes and views yet. Let's get her on up there. Let's get her on up there. And while we're getting her up there, let's have a look at this video, because this is just, I love these moments because it's like, yeah, call them out on it. And you know, if you're not gonna do it, yeah, we'll cut your funding then. Don't need to, and it's a different story in the US versus Canada. So like a lot of times the federal government will hold hostage the money of the provincial governments, because the provincial governments hand over their money to the federal government. I don't know why they do this. I think Quebec's the only the province that doesn't do this. Provinces, get on the game, get on the ball about taxing your own citizens. You have the power of taxation. Why are you handing it over to the federal government? It's awful. So the US doesn't do this. The states, they tax their own people. The federal government, they tax all the people in America. And this is how it goes. Now, the federal government can withhold funding if the states aren't doing something that is, you know, part of the rules. That if it's a presidential mandate, if it's the will of the people, folks. It's the will of the people. He has a mandate because he was elected in a landslide victory. And this is the thing. The Howler, good to see you. Awesome. Welcome to the show. Let's have a look at this clip.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Where are you at? Looking for you.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. So you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports.
Boom.
So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state. Good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
I look forward to it.
And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Jim Johnson, you're absolutely right. Really appreciate the Canadian Taxpayer Federation holding government to account. We need more people like the Canadian Taxpayer Federation here in Canada. They are doing a bang up job. I really appreciate what they're doing. There's other great groups like the Fraser Institute and countless others that if I started listing them off and I missed a couple, people would be mad. So there are some great groups in Canada, absolutely, and they are really on the top of the list right there. Terrazano, fantastic, absolutely. Love the CTF, yeah, absolutely. And I'm not gonna get into naming them because I'll miss a couple of people. Be angry. They'll be angry with me. So let's get back to the story. So the liberal leadership vote committee unanimously made a decision following extensive process and review. Basically, they looked at the polls and they went, "Holy cow, she could beat Carney. Let's get rid of this lady." An extensive process, questionnaires, and opportunity for Dr. Dhalla to directly address the committees. The committee, in a joint sitting with the Leadership Expense Committee, says that Dhalla was in breach of 10 violations of national leadership rules, leadership vote rules, the leadership expense rules. I'm sure they pulled some strings and they bent definitions to make that true. Yeah, there you go. A robust campaign, right? Here's how robust it is. This is where the rubricity is. It's right here. This is where the rubricity exists. This is where all the robustness. How would you say that word? This is showing how robust this process is. It's robust. They'll They'll robust you out the door if you look like you might beat Carney, is what it looks like. The violations include concerns about alleged violations of the Canada Elections Act, certain other election finance matters, non-disclosure of material facts, and inaccurate financial reporting, they added. Dhalla tells CTV News that she learned of her disqualification from watching the news. Oh, man. You can't make this up. When you're cutting the fat, the guilty pigs squeal the loudest. Yep, that's the word. Oh, man, this is crazy. So, yeah, obviously this is the case. Now, Marty up north talking about this, saying back in the day, conservatives tried to get her to cross the floor. Okay, so she's based, and that's why they don't want her. Alex Doe, the $5 super chat, says, I couldn't say that I wanted. I couldn't say what I wanted. Here's my money, Clyde. Jeez. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Asked my daddy for some. He said no. What? Creating all new language tonight. Robustness. Is it robustness? I like rubricity. Rubrosity. Oh, it's too funny. Carney hasn't disclosed much, right? So, but Carney doesn't have to disclose anything. But the one that looks like might beat him is getting the gears and gets kicked out of the race. So yeah. Hold on a second. The lovely Trish Prue with another 279 super chat says, so just white people left for libs, slim. DILOL. And that's why I put it in the title, like, are the liberals racist? What's going on here, folks? What's actually going on here? Marty up north saying, did the Liberal Party leak the story to CBC before contacting Ruby? Oh, it looks like it. She's been in trouble with the Liberal Party many times. Senior billionaire bankers for liberals. That's what they get. That's what they get. So this is Ruby Dhalla saying, CBC News, do you know something I don't? On X, she actually tweeted this out. Ruby wanted a French translator at the Liberal leadership debate, and the other candidate didn't think he needed French. So Carney's French stinks. It doesn't matter. Kick them out of the party then. So if this is a party thing, if they're not allowed to if they can't be a part of the party because they don't speak French, and that's their mantra, that's their MO, their modus operandi, then kick them out of the party. Make them sit as independent MPs. Right? They released this story on a Friday night where news stories go to die, but we get to laugh about them on Friday. This is going to come back up on Monday. I guarantee it. This one is not going away. This is funny. Ruby Dhalla kicked out of the Liberal Party leadership race. Source. You mean you guys are liberal insiders? I mean, CBC News. You might as well. It should be called the Liberal Party News Network, funded to the tune of $1.4 billion a year. That's what it should be called. Forget about this. Forget about calling it the CBC anymore. It's Pravda. Candidate faces 12 allegations of breaching party rules. Source says Ruby Dhalla is seen during a virtual interview with CBC News on Friday. The party disqualified her from the Liberal leadership race later that afternoon, a source told CBC News. Source. Oh, this is by Catherine. Is that how you spell Catherine? No, that's not how you spell. Tunney David Cochran. It took two CBC writers to write this drivel. This is the story. But obviously, people are talking about it already. Here's Mark Nixon giving his take. Oh, I love Mark Nixon's takes. These are great.
Major breaking news. Ruby Dhalla was going to potentially beat Mark Carney.
Yep.
And you are not going to believe what just happened.
Yeah, you might believe it. You might believe it. Andrew with a $2 super chat says, keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Andrew. Really appreciate it. I will. I'm going to keep on it.
Just got kicked out of the leadership race. You can't make any of this stuff up.
Nope, can't make it up,
Remember
folks.
when Chandra got kicked out and he literally said, this decision raises significant question about the legitimacy of the leadership race and by extension, the legitimacy of the next Prime Minister of Canada. I told everybody on my channel that Ruby Dhalla, would be next to get kicked out of the leadership race.
To fight, you say Freeland will be in second place. You mean Freeland will be in the only other place? Who else is in there? Karina Gould, I don't think, is able to raise the funds. She's going to get kicked out too. It's unbelievable. Oh, this is too funny.
And today, my suspicions came true, and I'm actually not happy about it.
No.
Mark Carney was terrified that Ruby Dhalla was going to beat her in the Liberal leadership
That's
race.
the truth right there.
This was from yesterday. Ruby Dhalla, possible interference with India. Do you guys not remember that Chrystia Freeland had possible interference from China?
Yep.
Where is her boot? And Mark Carney is not even an elected official. He's just running in this leadership race. There's all sorts of conflict of interest with all of the 20 different boards and companies that he operated prior to entering the leadership bid. And he was advising our government since 2015, but more exclusively since 2020, where he signed a contract. There is so much conflict of interest.
Yes,
so
there
yeah,
is.
this entire thing is fully legitimate. Yeah, I can't even believe what's happening in Canada.
Oh,
it looks
man.
like they kicked her out right before the debate because they didn't want her to ask Mark Carney about all of his conflict of interest.
That's exactly it. They didn't want her to be in the debate. This is so crazy. This is hilarious. Alex Doe with a $5 super chat says, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but Carney is literally the same old shit. Yeah, he is. He's worse. He's actually worse. He'll be worse than Trudeau. Mark my words on that one. Mark Nixon also tweeting this one out, breaking. Ruby Dhalla broke her silence and provided this statement on CBC News. Theorica with a $5 super chat says, meanwhile, Carney seen in same room with CCP media, another room with United Front in Richmond. Nothing to worry about. There's no conflict of interest there at all. No foreign interference. No, not when it's Chinese foreign interference. This is unreal. So yeah, crazy. I can't wait to see what they actually say, or if they do. I mean, we learned nothing about Chandra Arya. That just got swept under the rug. Okay, we're just not going to not talk about it at all. That's crazy.
Email that.
Let's hear this.
Well, I think it speaks to the state of the Liberal Party of Canada that a candidate who is running to become leader of the party, who is running to become prime minister in our country, is finding out that she has been disqualified on air from an email that the media outlet that she is interviewing with has received. So it is very alarming and very shocking. It is certainly not surprising.
That's sketchy.
Because I think the Liberal Party of Canada was seeing exactly what our internal polls are telling us, that my campaign and my team, we were neck to neck with a front runner in the race. They did not want me to go on to that debate stage in Montreal. They certainly did not want me on that ballot. And the Liberal Party of Canada wanted to complete the coronation of Mark Carney. All of the allegations that you have mentioned have been, that you have spoken about, they are completely false. They are fab. Well, I think
they got cut off. Yeah, they're false. Well, she's claiming that they're false. I'm tending to, I don't know, believe her, perhaps. At least benefit of the doubt. Who knows? But here's where we are. the front runner wanted her out. They want to install Carney. That's, at the end of the day, this is what this is about, and this is what we're gonna get. Now the article goes on to say, I was the only outsider in the race. I thought Mark Carney was an outsider. You know, the outsider guy that has a signature on the $20 bill. Anyway, Dhalla tells CTV News that she learned of her disqualification from watching the news, adding that someone running for the leadership race and to be the next prime minister, the party would have had the courtesy to inform me directly instead of having me learn about this from media reports. She adds that the allegations are fictitious and false, and the disqualification is an effort from the Liberal Party to keep her off the debate stage and ballot in order to complete the coronation for former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney to become the Liberal Party's leader. I was the only outsider in the race and was speaking about progressive policies that I believe are the need of the hour in our country. Dhalla said, it's very evident that the party did not like that, and they did not want me to bring these progressive policies to the debate stage in Montreal. Was she progressive? I don't know. I have only heard her say some based things, but that, I guess, is what everybody's sharing. That's the thing. Following the announcement, she posted on social media saying that the decision was disappointing considering it was leaked to the media. There's no leaks to the media. That doesn't exist. I've just been informed by the Liberal Party of Canada that I have been disqualified from the leadership race. This decision is both shocking and deeply disappointing, especially since it was leaked to the media. Leaked. Is that really what's gone down? I don't know about that, if it was a leak. But so I put the question out there. I just straight up said it. Is the Liberal Party of Canada racist? They're always accusing everyone else of racism, sexism, misogyny, whatever new woke term that they come up with in the moment. Turn it on them. Turn it on them. This is the party. It's supposed to be the party of human person kind. What was it? People kind. You've kicked out both people of Indian descent from the party on trumped up disqualification allegations. They've always been racist. This is the question. Are they racist? They don't want to have the first Indian descent Prime Minister of Canada? Is that what they're doing? They're depriving the voters of a thing. What was it Justin Trudeau said recently? He was what did he say? He was disappointed. It wasn't supposed to be that way. I gotta find it. I gotta find that clip. Where was it? Because he bitched about it. About Donald Trump being elected, which is crazy. What, he got verklempt? Get out of here. Oh, I think I found it. It wasn't supposed to be this way. There we go. Oh, Andrew with a $2 super chat says, jump ship, Canadian Tulsi Gabbard. I wouldn't call her that, but what? Do you think she's that based? Do you really think that she's that based? Here's Justin Trudeau. Him talking about Donald Trump being elected. This guy is not a fan of democracy, folks. He does not like when people decide for themselves who they will have representing them. No. What is the opposite of democracy? Tyranny. He's all about that.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress.
Oh!
And yet, just a few weeks ago...
Listen to the disdain in his voice when he says that. It's unbelievable. We should have been, we should be
on a steady, if supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president.
Wait. What about the Liberal Party who just disqualified one of the women from the ballot? What the heck? Come on, Trudeau. You should be screaming from the hilltops about this. Andrew with a $2 super chat, LOL, and a big thumbs up. Yeah, this is Trudeau. Why are you disappointed with the United States? They went against globalism? That's probably why you're disappointed.
Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want
overtly and subtly. I don't know, like disqualifications, 12 fake disqualifications behind the doors. And then you don't even talk to her about it. You just leak it to the media. Steve's Hyde for $5 says, hey, Clyde, have you heard anything about the Liberals talking about staying away from the polls in order to combat Trump and the tariffs? Staying away from the polls? How do the Liberals stay away from polls? What? I don't understand what you mean by that. They have no control over who does the polls. But I know there's been a bump. There's been a bump in the polls towards the Liberals, and that's to be expected. People across Canada were saying they won't vote Liberal if Justin Trudeau was the leader. And then, so what did he have to do? He had to pretend he was leaving office. He had to pretend he was leaving office. Meanwhile, he's running around, I don't know, committing us to contracts that will be around for a very long time, that he's put in measures to make sure that we can't get out of them, these contracts that are happening. But yeah, what do you even say about that? But yeah, holy cow. Where was I going with this? Let's hear what he has to say.
I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government. No, it shouldn't.
He'll always be a proud feminist. Oh my goodness. What was the thing he said? Oh, I pulled that up this morning. Yeah, he's stupid. This is so dumb. I love it though. I love how dumb it is.
Poverty is sexist.
And you're an idiot. Sorry. I just happen to have that at my disposal. But yeah, poverty is sexist. Come on. Poverty is what you brought us. Poverty sees no sexes. This is the thing that people don't, these liberals, they just don't get it. They don't get it. They try to force things on people. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Before it was, what's the term they used in the US? Affirmative action. That was a thing. It was deemed unconstitutional in the US. That's great. That's great that it was stricken down. You know what it does breed though? All this DEI stuff. It actually breeds genuine racism. And this is the fear. And this is what, a lot of, libertarian conservative minded people will point out, and it falls on deaf ears in the liberal crowds. It actually breeds genuine racism. Why? Because a lot of people will look at somebody who's an ethnic minority, a woman, or a person who's, I don't know, got a bend in a certain way. And what they'll do is they'll see that person in a position, in a job that they maybe earned, maybe totally earned on their merits. But what will people think? They'll always think, oh, that guy, he got his job handed to him because of that, right? Or that woman, she's only got that job because of, that's the thing, right? She ticked the box and then she got her job in that thing, and people won't trust them in their positions. That's awful. We need to be able to trust people that are in their jobs. We need to be able to trust that a doctor knows what their thing is. You know what I mean? Like knows the expertise of their position. We need to be able to trust that. And then this is the bigotry that actually spouts out because of this. And but it's not unfounded. But it doesn't always apply. And this is crazy. And this is crappy. And we don't want that. We don't want that in our society. Alex Doe, thank you so much for the gifting another 5 memberships to the channel. That's incredible. Thank you. Everybody who got a membership just now, give Alex Doe a big thank you in the chat. And enjoy some of these new emojis. Maybe I should update some of the emojis. I love the banana. That's my favorite. The banana flag, because it's the flag you fly when you live in a northern banana republic, which is where we're at. But yeah, just getting back to this. So the soft bigotry of low expectations is the racism of the left. It's the racism of liberals. It's the racism of the Democrats. When they see a minority, they don't see somebody that's another person, just like all of us. They see someone who's a victim, or they see someone who's lower than they are. And but they're compassionate, so they need to protect those people. It is gross. It is disgusting. That is a disgusting way of looking at people. It's, supremacy comes in 2 factions. Supremacy comes in the faction where you look down on other people because they're different and you think they're worse, they're less than you, and therefore you don't like them. That's one side. And then there's the same mentality, but you think you need to help them because you think they're less than you. How about getting it through your head that people aren't less than you? That would be great. Andrew with a $5 super chat. Thank you and all of your supporters. Good night, all. Good night, Andrew. Have a great evening. I really appreciate you coming by. Awesome having you. Del Shocks? Is that, I got that right? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to being a new member of the channel. Getting in there and becoming a member all on your own. Really appreciate that. But this is the thing. So, China claims to have invented DEI. I wouldn't doubt that. It sounds like a very communist thing to do. pit people against each other and get all this stuff going. Yeah, it's very much Marxism. It's gross, and we need to get away from it. Meritocracy is the utmost best way to organize society. People should go into the jobs because they trained and they're apt for it. If you work hard and you're apt and you're capable of a thing, off you go. Off you go to the moon, Alice, to the moon, whatever it takes. This is the thing. But as long as you give people a leg up because of a thing, people are always going to have it in their head. Why do you think when that plane crashed in Toronto airport, what was the first thing that people thought? I bet you the person who was flying that wasn't qualified. I bet you the person who got that job was a DEI hire. I bet you they got the job despite being underqualified, and there were applicants that were qualified, but they got the job because of that. What did it turn out to be? Exactly that. Yeah, that's right. It turned out to be exactly that. It turned out to be that Delta Airlines was running what they called unmanned aircraft. I'm not kidding. You can't make this up, folks. You can't make this up. Unmanned aircrafts. It didn't mean that they didn't have anybody on the aircraft. It meant that the staff included no men. Well, how are you going to get when there's, okay, just think about it. If there's a plethora of people. Oh, Steve's Hyde's going to bed. You have a good night, Steve. Steve's Hyde. Oh, I just want to read the chat there real quick. Have a great night, Clyde and friends. Too tired nowadays. Oh, it is a thing. I stream kind of late. I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so, and I work a day job, so I do it when I can. I do it in the evenings. Thank you for joining this evening. Have a great evening. Have a great night. So, what is this? Derek saying, Morgan Freeman said it best. The only way to get rid of racism is to not talk about it. When I was growing up, racism wasn't even an issue. It was amazing. I grew up in Windsor, Ontario, and there was just like a mosaic, as they say. It was a melting pot. It was just people from all walks. I mean, people, as kids, we didn't care. Like, oh, that kid's more tan than me. Whatever. That kid's got freckles. That kid's got blue eyes. That kid's got brown eyes. That kid's got red hair. That kid's got brown hair, blonde hair. Who cares? None of it mattered. What mattered more was, like, did Johnny come? Because Johnny has the ball. You know? None of us have a ball. None of us have one of those, like, the ball, the hard Indian rubber ball, you know, that you play ass burner with. That was always the important thing. Is Johnny coming? He has the ball. They don't care. Nobody cared about any of that stuff, and kids don't. And I can attest to this as being a kid that grew up in the 90s, as watching my kids, and I don't talk about race or any of that stuff. I just leave it up to them to figure stuff out, and it's not an issue. What do you know? Kids don't care. Oh, you guys called it red butt? Is that what you called it? Put it in the chat. If you guys played ass burner red butt, what did you call it? I remember some kids getting like total broken bones from playing Red Rover. That was just, I guess, the way we played it. You guys play it? You called it red ass? That's okay. That's the game. But I never heard of racism until 2015. That's funny. Whose birthday is it? Happy birthday to whoever's birthday is it. It is. Somebody mentioned in the chat whose birthday it is. We played Jungle Ball, No Rules Rugby. No. So ass burner was against the wall. You'd have to bounce the ball and hit it against the wall. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of rules there. I missed whose birthday it is. Whose birthday is it? Let me know in the chat. Like, say happy birthday with a name instead of just happy birthday. By the way, to the people in the chat, one of my mods will put this up. Hopefully it's been added to the mod chat, you know, on the Discord. But we end up having chats afterwards in the Discord community. If you're not yet part of our Discord community, you're interested, when that link comes up, join in. Happy birthday, person. Whose birthday? Lena. Happy birthday, Lena. There's the link if you want to join the Discord later. If you're not sure what Discord is just another social media platform. It's like private servers where we have our own community. We only ever open up the link during the live streams, and it's a way to weed out the trolls and the bots and all of that stuff. So if you want to join, it's only while the live stream's going. You can, and up until tomorrow. The link expires at the end of the day, so you can hit that link and you can join in and be a part of the community over there as well. So what is this? Japan made a cruiser and WA shipped to dark side of the moon. I don't even know what you're talking about at all on that one. I loved Dodgeball. Dodgeball was great. We used to play a game called King's Court. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It was another one where there was like a no man's land in the back, and you could bring team members back because they could catch the ball. So you'd have to watch out from all sides. Cause it was a good game. It was a really good game. And I'd love to go back to gym class just to go play that. But how did I get on this? Yeah, growing up as a kid, I remember King's Court. So as a kid, none of this existed, none of this stuff. And I think this whole thing. How old is Clyde? I'm in my 40s. I'm forget sometimes. Well, I'll be 43 this year. Woo, getting up there. But yeah, I grew up in the 90s, so that was a thing. None of this was an issue, and I honestly believe that there was a push, and I believe how do I put this? Well, James Lindsay, he talks about it a lot. He says out of academia came this new brand of Marxism. Now they tried to do Marxism in North America, and it never really took off because Marxism in Europe was a big hit because people had class societies. So you were born into a class and you would just like remain in that class. Even in England today, like people consider your accent basically a marker of your class. And it's been like that for a long time. Maybe it's shying away from that more now, but that was always a thing. Clyde, you're a kid. I won't say how old I am. Okay, don't say it. That's funny. But so it was really easy to manipulate the masses at the time because you would say to them like, oh, well, it's those upper class people. They're the bad guys. And you pit people against each other and you create this divide and conquer technique. And this is what this douchebag does all the time. This is his claim to fame. This is all he's ever been good at, is with his narcissism. It's a natural ability to pit people against each other. That's what he's doing now, pitting Canadians against Americans. He's a one-trick pony. That's his one trick. Mark Carney's one trick is turn on the printing press. Brrr, money printer, go burr. But Trudeau's one-trick pony is what came about from this new idea, instead of pitting the classes against each other, because in North America, people consider themselves an incidentally embarrassed potential millionaire. You know what I mean? I'm just between times right now. You know what I mean? I could end up becoming a rich person. I don't hate rich people. But that stuff has been coming in. It's been coming in through academia. Now, the way they did that, though, is instead of pitting people against each other in class ways, they started doing it on cultural lines. Oh, white people, they have it so much better than other people, and other people are this or other, these people that. And they started to go and form these different communities and pit people against each other. Rather than everybody, as I was growing up, everybody seemed fine. It was all good. It was all gravy. And my mom's family came from Scotland. Things weren't great, but they came over to Canada and it was like hard work. Everybody worked hard. Everybody did it, and everybody acknowledged the grind that it took to get somewhere in life. And everybody saw that. But in comes these academics, because academics don't like to work. They absolutely don't like to work. Let's go to academia and just see what they write about. It's just unbelievable. The hogwash that they just come up with, and they're smelling their own farts and they're figuring out what they each other like to hear. And that's about it. They're in their own little bubble. But then they try to bring this out to the main world, right? You convince enough people in academia, you start indoctrinating the kids as they go through. And what a lot of people thought, this cultural Marxism stuff, was just going to be contained to contained to academia, ended up branching out and getting out into the world. And here we're suffering from it with DEI and all of this stuff. Woke ideology. Mr. Roscoe Pico with a $2 super chat says, as simple as blue and red. As simple as blue and red? What, just like political lines? People did not care. People did not care when I was growing up. In fact, most people didn't even speak about their politics. That was one thing you don't ask me. Who I'm voting for and what I make on my paycheck. None of your business. That's always the way it's been. McCarthy was right in the end. Oh boy. I was going to do some research and actually do a piece on that. I want to do a piece on McCarthy. for those that don't know, he was the one in America that was demonized by the left in what do you call it, in, I guess, media, in Hollywood. You hear about it on, I even remember The Simpsons giving certain little digs at McCarthyism and all this other things. McCarthyism came up a lot. But McCarthy was this guy who really wanted to weed out communists. He wanted to weed out communists from society in America, right? And he would be at these committees and he would ask for people's like pledge, like where have you ever, under oath, have you ever been or ever communicated, have you ever been part of any groups to do with communism? And he would grill people often. And McCarthyism, yeah, that was chasing the commies. Yeah, to weed them out. And guess what? They ridiculed him. And even today, they still ridicule what he was doing. And he was right. All Hollywood actors screaming, yeah, communist hearings. But what were they doing? Actually, yes, they were getting together and they were a bunch of commies, as it turns out. And we see it in academia. You see it in Hollywood. We see it in entertainment. We see it in music. I mean, I was really involved in the punk rock scene when I was really young. And I remember like being really into old style punk rock and, listening to the lyrics of all these guys saying they're anarchists and stuff. And that was like, that was the thing. So I started like, and I would, not gonna lie, as a youngin', I would look at it and I'd be like, yeah, I kind of like the idea of not being told what to do. and then you learn what responsibility is and all that stuff. And then at the same time, when you learn risk and reward, you kind of don't want to be told what to do. But I found that the punk rock scene even started shifting really lefty, and that got really weird. I mean, I can't even like listen to NoFX anymore without just hearing how commie those guys are. It's just unbelievable, and it's gross. And like, it ruined a lot of things. Learning how just crazy commie people ended up going. It's really gross. It's crazy. Remember the Sex Pistols? Yeah, absolutely. They're singing "Anarchy" in the UK, and those guys are just, for lack of a better word, shit disturbers. But what was it Johnny Rotten said at one point? He said something along the lines of the most punk rock thing. Here, let me see. Johnny. I wonder if it'll come up. Oh, here's Johnny Rotten. Okay, I'll pull this clip up. This is Johnny Rotten backing Wexit, or not Wexit, Brexit in the UK. He did have another one where he said that Donald Trump is punk rock. It's the anti-establishment, and that's what these guys were all about. The Sex Pistols back in the day, they're just anti-establishment. This is hilarious. Awesome. Yeah. So Johnny Rotten endorsing Trump, essentially, for lack of a better word. There, Daifeichu with a $10 super chat says you should have Gardner Goldsmith on. I don't know who Gardner Goldsmith is. He knows a lot about economics, was a writer for Star Trek, knows a lot about punk rock, and his dad was friends with Ron Paul and Charlotte Lesserbite. No kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll look him up. Because I never heard that name. But let me pop that in the old search bar. hopefully find that later. So yeah, I'll check that out. Thank you so much. I love these suggestions. You guys are awesome for all of this. You have your live chat on, just a reminder. Yes, I do. Thank you for reminding me, though. I did remember this time before getting into it. That's the thing. Now, what were some of the other things I wanted to talk about? So here's one. This Trump derangement syndrome has found its way to Canada. And of course, Trump derangement syndrome has always been with the liberal establishment, the elites, we see it with Andrew Coyne and all of these characters. Love to see Trudeau prosecuted through the work of democracy. I would love to see that happen. We'll see where it goes with what is it? Democracy Watch? Is that the name of the group? I always forget their name. I hope that works out. But I want to get into this. So now people are starting to push back. I was pushing back right away. By the way, Angela Cordoso, yeah, my keyboard sounds awesome because it's a custom mechanical keyboard. These things are just, they just sound so great. It's beautiful. It's like ASMR with a good key, custom made. I custom made that keyboard. I'm a dork. I do stuff like that. I really want one. You have to build one. We can talk about that later. I'll be doing the chat in the Discord. Join. We can talk about that because I'm a geek when it comes to mechanical keyboards, audio stuff, a bunch of different things. But yeah, totally want one. Anyway, let's get back to this. So Trump derangement syndrome. Now there's a bit of a pushback. I was pushing back right away. I took a big old hit. Yes, I'll be asking you about that. I have no idea how to build anything. Yeah, well, we can teach you. What was that? A back scratcher? A snap-on? No, it wasn't. No, it's just a cheapo, but it's telescopic, and that's what every dad needs. Is one of those. So I pushed back right away. I took a big hit. A bunch of people, unfollowed me. This is a thing. When you go against the grain, people get mad at you, and they have their moments, and then they freak out, and they'll leave you. It's the I'm moving to Canada if Trump gets elected thing. But whatever, do your thing. And so I have my opinions on Trump, and I came out early on this, but now we're starting to see a lot more people speak out about it. And I'm not saying that these people were scared to speak out about it. It's just a lot of people didn't have, that wasn't on their top priority. But this is a great one that was posted. And why did it open in the wrong tab? So I have to pull it down here now. Come on over. This is from J Gen Xer on X. He posted this one out there. I really like this one. Guy from Moncton, New Brunswick, talking about this specifically.
If these tariffs come in and they look like they're going to stay, we pretty well have two options. We'll either sell to a U.S. company, and there's lots of interest, or we'll look at moving the business to the U.S. I'm Darren Smith, president of Justin Tool Company here in Moncton, New Brunswick. We manufacture woodworking tools and accessories. We export over 90% of what we produce. We always do over 80% of our business in the United States. If this tariff comes in, it's not going to raise the price to the American consumer. We have great competition in the U.S., manufactured in the U.S., and they make a high-quality product. Our customers, I can't blame them. They would just purchase product made in the U.S. I've always been grateful to be able to sell in the U.S. market. And I love Americans. I love America. I consider us best friends. I don't like the way my government has been insulting the current president for the past 9 years and his supporters. It insults me too because I like him. I like Donald Trump. Yeah. The United States and the different states and communities, they look at business a little bit differently. They actively pursue business. They appreciate business. Canada, it seems like you're a necessary evil here. The reason I decided to speak out is I've got 65 employees and they have families, and I hate to see them lose their job. I think my government should be trying a little bit harder to work with them and not playing politics all the time.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And this is a sensible take. And this is a sensible take that I've been saying. What are you doing trying to start a trade war? Now, of course, they're just playing a game of politics. They're just playing a game of politics over there. And I personally want to thank Darren Smith for doing this. I think this was brave of you to come out and just straight up come out and say it. It's really hard in Canada to come out and say, I like Donald Trump. I think he's the right guy for the job. So absolutely brave of you to do this. You didn't have to, but thank you. Absolutely thank you, because this lends more credulity to a lot more people that are saying the same thing. We need to be more sensible about this. Now, the reality is Canada's had a really big, great deal for a long time, and America's kind of looking at it going, hold on a second, you got some trade restrictions that just don't make sense to us. And maybe it's not a trade restriction on tools, but we got trade restrictions when it comes to the milk and all these other industries. Not good. And to come out after them in a trade war way, no, it's not going to work. Onthego, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, for $20. Thank you so much. Says, Clyde from America, fight, fight, fight. It's working, I think. I hope so. I hope so, because I'm fighting. And you got to. The New Age Creator for 5 says, Clyde has an extra thing to add as contact. Hold on a second. Clyde has an extra thing to add as contact. You could give us spec on how to make a community of builders. Are you talking about keyboards? The New Age Creator, are you talking about keyboards? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. I could show people how to build keyboards. Yeah, I'm totally into that. But I don't think the political community would appreciate me making those videos on this channel. I could do it somewhere else. That would be fine. I'm totally into that. But thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, we definitely need to fight. We need to fight. I love that. I absolutely love that whole thing. Donald Trump, I mean, that was a moment in history no one will forget. But Canadians need to come to their senses, because they need to realize that a lot of this is just pitting people against each other. And of course, Justin Trudeau coming out with this tweet. This tweet was the icing on the cake. It was absolutely icing on the cake on how just absolutely keyboards. Yeah. So this was the icing on the cake. New channel, Clyde built something. Oh man, no. I have a lot of work doing one channel as it is. That's a thing. By the way, tomorrow I'm going to be I'll be appearing on RudyCast. If you guys don't know RudyCast, get on over and subscribe to RudyCast. Let me pop up his channel so you can see what it looks like. RudyCast. I'll be on a live stream tomorrow with him, and that's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about Canada. He's a Canadian Venezuelan. So he's originally from Venezuela. He's emigrated to Canada, and he talks about a lot of Venezuelan issues, but he also talks about Canadian issues. And he has an English channel. I think I'm going to be on this channel. So check it out. There's RudyCast, and then there's RudyCast English. Go check it out. We'll be doing a live stream tomorrow in the morning. So that'll be, I think it's at 10:30. 10:30. Let me double check. Let me just double check, because yeah, it'll be at 10:30 West Coast time, so 10:30 Pacific. So it'd be really early for people in the East Coast. Definitely check that out. Alex Doe, holy cow, giving another 5 memberships to the channel. Very generous. Thank you so much. That's amazing. That's really awesome. If you just got a membership from Alex, make sure you give him a big thank you in the chat just now. New Age Creator for 2 says, Clyde, build something, side channel, boom. I don't know if that's something really written in the stars here for that, but well, we could always see. I was thinking about doing another channel eventually. One I wanted to do was like a daily podcasting show with other creators. We'll see if that ends up happening, because there's a lot. I have a full-time job as well on top of all of this. But if this we'll see where that goes. You never know where your career might end up taking you, so we'll see. I was going to vote for Ruby. Said that the Liberals show that their true color is racist. In other words, for no there are no other words for it. Kicking out 2 candidates of Indian origin, 2 that don't speak French. Yeah. That's a thing. You'll see soon enough too, with the advent of AI, we're not even going to need translators in Parliament. Those people are going to lose their jobs. Don't even need it. And that's that. Just and the best part is, like, on TV, they'll be able to make it sound like their own voice, and even their lips will be moving between languages. It's unbelievable. I hope so, because some of those translators in Parliament are awful. Oh man, I love when they try to mimic the excitement that somebody has. That really makes me laugh. But let's get into this. Let's talk about some of the excitement and being fake in your excitement. What's going on tonight? You coming out tomorrow? Wait, what am I coming out to for tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Gaetano, what's tomorrow? You're gonna have to let me know. I'm curious. Did I miss something? Tomorrow morning I'm tomorrow. What have I forgotten? Tomorrow is a mystery. Now I'm really what? I'm intrigued. Let me know, chat. What's tomorrow? Now okay. What? You got me confused. Here. We're all waiting on you now. We're all waiting on you. What? You don't remember? Dang it, Clyde. Oh, I see what you're doing. Now. Oh, that's really funny. It's February 22. We go for drinks. Saturday's playtime with the kids. Where are we going for drinks at, Gaetano? Where's that happening? Did we make I don't remember making a plan. But I like going for drinks. That's fun. Either way, tomorrow we're doing a podcast with Rudy. That's going to be good. Tune into that. I was actually going to be doing a podcast with Mr. Sunshine Baby tomorrow, and I was gonna tell everybody about that tonight, but that actually fell through because Jasper got sick. So he's sick. That's not gonna be a thing. When you're in Victoria, when I'm in Victoria, yeah, let's definitely go for drinks. That'll be. I think I'm there on the 11th next month. Check that out. If you don't already have tickets, We Unify is putting on an event. I'm going to be at the speaker series. They invited me out for that, so tune into that. But yeah, was supposed to. Your channel is going to blow up. All right. Well, I hope so. That would be fun. It's already blown up again with the 150,000 we just hit, so that's going to be great. Next week, Clyde Do Something will be in Nanaimo as well. as will I. Cool. You'll be there? I am. Mr. Sunshine's cool, but he blows shit out of proportion. Thumbnails. He's got the thumbnails. They're grabby. I mean, they get people's attention. But not tomorrow. Next Friday. Next Friday is gonna be an interesting one because I'm really gonna try to do the live stream. But I'm gonna be in Nanaimo at the British Columbia Conservative Party AGM. So I'm gonna be a delegate there, and Friday night is just kind of a meet and greet. Remember this when your channel takes off. My channel's taken off. We've already taken off. This is we're the thing. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Yeah, we get usually like 2 million views a month. It's crazy, like unbelievable. It's insane. But yeah, so next Friday we need to we're gonna try to do a live stream. This is gonna be interesting. My delegate. Yeah, there you go. If you're in the Sea to Sky or West Van or Sunshine Coast, yeah, I'll be your delegate. So tune in for the usual live stream. It might be abrupt or weird. I'm not sure how it's going to work out because it's going to be on a mobile device. So it'll be like in the vertical format. So I've done that before when I went to Japan. It was fun. I might even, because you can bring in guests when you do that. So I might do that as well. We'll see how it goes, but it should be fun. I'm the Surrey Fleetwood delegate. Cool. Nice. All right. We're going to be in there voting. But this is again, I keep telling people, this is how you change things politically. If you want to get involved, you have to get involved at the party level. And get involved in as many parties as you possibly can. Unless they pull your party membership because you've been seen at another party or whatever. But like look at Marty. He went to the NDP AGM last year. This is what you do. You and Marty have to come up to Terrace for some river fishing and harassment of our local government for passing on Edison Motors. I would love to. You send me an invite officially. We'll make it happen. What about Dave from Moose on the Loose? I've never met Dave. I've seen his channel. He's doing really well. I think I had an email exchange with him a while back, but it was really brief, and I don't know if there was any follow up. But yeah, he's doing great. I just don't know who. I don't know him. I've never spoken with him. Dave is great. Yeah, there you go. So a lot of people. Wyatt from TNT. Yeah, Wyatt Claypool. I've had him on the show several times, so you guys know he's fantastic. David has some solid info. Moose is good too. Yeah. Nightall, wife of 52, and had half years, is saying we need to go. 2.5 years is saying we need to go up, get up early and go to the dog groomers. Well, thank you, Johnny Fudge, for coming out. I really appreciate that. Northern Perspective is awesome. Yeah, I'm friends with them, so I know a lot about them. So, some of these other creators, I know who they are. I'd love to chat with everybody. It's just, everybody's got busy schedules and it doesn't always work out, right? Let's not forget, who else? There's so many people out there. How about who? Well, everybody knows Marty. Everybody knows Marty up north, Northern Perspective. Jasmine Lane, absolutely, don't forget her. She's killing it, by the way. Her channel looks so damn professional. Every time I watch her channel, yeah, Pleb, he's doing great as well. Maverick News is fantastic. Yeah, Jasmine, every time I watch her show, I feel jealous that I'm not as professional as she is. She's knocking it out of the park. Greg doesn't like me. That guy, he calls me a subversive conservative. So whatever about that guy. I've had him on the show, yeah, a long time ago. But yeah. Dell Shocks with a $27.99 super chat says, thanks, Clyde. Ruby would have ripped Carney a new one. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely would have. And we all would have really loved that debate. That debate would have been hilarious to watch, honestly. But that's something that we're not going to get because they've rigged their system. That's how the liberals work. That's how they work. Diagolon called me. No, I called them out. Don't mistake that one. I called them out for some of the things that they were saying, and in response, Jeremy threatened my wife and myself. So they can enjoy the infamy that they're gonna get from that. Benny is definitely a good channel to follow. Benny Johnson, fantastic. I'm a fan of his. He's doing great things. Absolutely. Who's Greg? What show? Exactly. That's probably exactly the way it goes. Clyde, you should try to get Alex Jones on, dude. It would be shits and giggles. Well, again, Alex Jones, where is he? He's in Austin. So I'll be pushing towards that when I get down there. I always try to make things as if I have somebody on the show, my goal is to make things as easy as possible for anybody to join in, do their thing. Alex is obviously a very busy man himself. Clyde, time to have a Fox Canada. You're hired. You could be the new Greg. What, Greg Gutfeld? That would be a great job. I like Greg Gutfeld. I like Mark Nixon. Mark Nixon's fantastic. Absolutely. How's Dave live from the shed? I haven't talked to Dave in a while. So Dave, he wanted to go back to just normal life. He didn't like the spotlight. He didn't like having the spotlight on him all the time. He's such a good guy, actually. Like, he's honestly a really, really good guy. And what he wanted to do was bring a lot of light to the situation. And he wanted, like, he did the whole live from the shed thing. And he originally didn't want to be the face of it, but then people saw him and then they wanted questions. They asked so many questions and all this stuff. So later he hung up the towel, and every once in a while I still speak with him, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm loving life. I'm doing good. He's gone back to his job as a tradesman, and he likes a simple life. He really likes watching his hockey games and doing his thing. And I can't really knock him for it. I think he's doing what he loves. He's doing what he wants, and everyone should be able to do that. That's the thing. Curtin Denise with a $5 super chat says, wife left you a message on your webpage. She had a question about your move to the US. She was hoping to pick your brain and left her number. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to, on the website. So I'll have to talk to Yuji about that. If got the number. Fringe, you have a beef? He has one with me. I don't get it. No idea. I'm waiting to find out what that is. Love to find out. How do you love the traders? I don't know. Either we feed beasts or we do not. Dave is a good guy, for sure. Thanks for the update, Clyde. You know what? I need to call him. I need to make a note to call Dave. I'm actually gonna write this down because I haven't talked to Dave in a while. It's been, I want to say, like at least 6 months. The last time I talked to him, he's doing fantastic, and he's just such a good guy. You know, I really like talking with him. Sorry, silent moment as I'm writing. Call Dave live from the shed. I gotta call him just to say, hey, brother. You know, I really like the guy. I can't say enough good stuff about him. He just seems so genuine to me. You know, that's the thing. Dave from Moose on the Loose is dope. Get in touch. Yeah, it'd be cool to get in touch with him. What about that electric car from Africa that doesn't need to be charged? Yeah. Yeah. Is that real? I don't believe you. I don't believe it. Clyde, forget what someone thinks. It's no winner possible. What? I don't care what a lot of I don't care what a lot of people think. I mean, obviously I care what people think, but I get so much criticism on a daily. You know, you get praise, you get criticism. There are some people that are, you know, lucid in their criticisms, and those I take seriously. And then there's other ones that are just off the deep end. And then you know, but it's good. It's good to have a balance of this, because you don't want everything to go to your head, because it really can go to your head really quickly with the amount of praise that you get from people. So I do like to keep a balance there. Yes, Frank Vaughn. How can I forget Frank Vaughn? He's fantastic. In fact, he's been doing some of the best work lately on this like Team Canada BS that's been going on. I want to recommend people go to Frank Vaughn's channel, subscribe, watch a plethora of the stuff that he's been doing over the past few weeks, and you won't be disappointed. He absolutely won't be disappointed. Let me pull up his channel just so everybody knows where to find his channel. Hold on a second. I've got nothing but good things to say about Frank. In fact, I have really good things to say about Frank. I'm going to even leave his channel in the chat here, so you guys can go check him out. Just knocking it out of the park. He's fantastic. Tragically undersubscribed. Get over, subscribe to his channel. Flood his channel with subscriptions, because he deserves it for the work that he's doing, and like actually pushing back on some of the stuff that's like it needs to be there. I see James Top mentioned there. David Creighton, fantastic. James Top does not, another person who just does not want to be in the spotlight, and I totally respect him for it. Totally respect him for it. Cooper and Terrazano, fantastic. Bang up work they're doing. MF says what needs to be said. Are you talking about Frank Vaughn? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Holy cow. Like he's dropping truth bombs like there's no tomorrow. It's insane. Get over there and subscribe for sure. Nick Molnar for $5 says, when I hear such nice things said about a dude, I feel the evil leaving my body. Right? Absolutely. Right. Oh, Right Blend, another great guy too. See, that's the thing. Sam Cooper needs more recognition. Here's the thing, like you start to mention people, and then people are like, oh, you forgot this one, you forgot this person, forgot this person. There are a lot of great people out there making content. Really, really great people making content. And yeah, I don't know everybody. I know some people, and I don't know other people. And the more I get to know, the better. You know, it's fantastic, and I love to work with so many other people. Is Stefan Molyneux around? No, he was canceled. He went really hard on the race and IQ thing, and it left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, which is disappointing because his peaceful parenting stuff was really good, and his work that he did with the Mises Institute was fantastic. So, you know, teach their own, right? The hill you want to die on. But that's not the hill I'd like to die on, that's for sure. You should be on Redacted. Well, if Redacted ever called me up, I would absolutely come on their show. Dan Dix, there you go. Another person who's doing really, really good work. Yeah, I love Dan Dix. He's fantastic. Another local boy. Yeah, great dude doing really good work. Lauren Southern, it doesn't look like she's content creating anymore, but she's fantastic. Wow, so many people. I thought about Lauren because I met them both in person at the one event. I've had Dan Dix on the show before, and I've had Lauren Southern on the show as well. So yeah, all these great people doing stuff. Candace Malcolm and the CEO decided to join with Kian Bexty to create Juno News. Yeah, I've noticed that recently. I don't know much about it. Yeah, The Art of the Argument was a great book. Great book. Kanakistan canceled Lauren Southern. No, it wasn't. It was the media. The media did in cahoots with it was this is the story. This gets into the story. Sorry, I need to wet my whistle. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a honeypot. I don't know if there's is there a direct definition of honeypot? I'm gonna look it up. So honeypot definition. A container where honey is kept. There we go. Thanks. Is there not a good, not a Merriam, okay, Urban Dictionary perhaps? Yeah. Honeypot slang. Another phrase for whoa. No, I'm not going there. Okay, so honeypot is this idea of like somebody lures you in with something so that they can cancel you or do something to you afterwards. They've tried this with countless other people. It was actually proven in court that General Motors tried to honeypot Ralph Nader, of all people, because he was trying to create a bunch of regulations for safety in the automotive industry, and General Motors didn't want that, and they tried to get a prostitute to pick him up, and then they were gonna then bribe him afterwards with all of that, and that was a thing. And obviously he didn't go along with it, and then he brought it up in court, and then they found the records of hiring this individual, and that didn't go very well. So I'll get to this just after the super chat from Alex Doe for $5 says thoughts on what the outcome might have been if we lost the Four Nations tournament. The same. People forget sporting events like in a minute. It's yeah, they forget so fast. Drew Coover with a $10 super chat, thank you, says espionage, social engineering. In intelligence and social engineering, honeypotting refers to using seduction or relationships to extract information, then use espionage or scams. So in the case that I was referring to here, the honeypot was whatever it was that Lauren Chen was setting up. So Lauren Chen, if you know about her, she used to have a channel called Roaming Millennial that took off, it got really popular. She was an anon type content creator with just imagery, not ever showing her face. Then she was picked up by the Blaze News, and she did a bunch of speaking engagements and all this before that. But then she was picked up by Blaze, and then I don't know if she left the Blaze or she was still with the Blaze, but she got contacted by, so we don't know what happened here, right? So we don't know what happened here, but she said that she was contacted by some billionaire philanthropist from the US South, and then she created this new YouTube channel called Tenet Media. Now, Tenet Media hired on all these other content creators in the conservative space. So they brought on Tim Pool, they brought on Matt Christensen, brought in Lauren Southern, and a few others, right? And paid them large sums of money, like obnoxiously large sums of money to do video content, which for them was like, yeah, no brainer. I'll make this video content for a really good amount of money. And Lauren, which Lauren? Like there's Lauren Chan and then Lauren Southern. So Lauren Chan, the allegations are that the billionaire philanthropist was not actually a billionaire philanthropist from America. It was these two Russian actors that were trying to pay conservative right-wing commentators to make content, and they were trying to make it look like a quid pro quo thing, right? Oh, Benny Johnson was also in the Tenet Media umbrella. Now, in the allegations, even in the indictment is against Lauren Chen and her husband, but they say in that in the indictment, it says that no other actors in this were aware of the origins of the money. So they didn't know, and they weren't encouraged to do anything for the Russian government, anything of the sort. But the allegations are that Lauren Chen and her husband knew about this because they were directly being paid by these individuals, and they were withholding that information from the people. Now, where it becomes a sort of honeypot situation is if Lauren Chen knew this, and if Lauren Chen was in on this, it could be. And the reason why some people believe that this could be the case is she was a never Trumper. She didn't like Donald Trump, even though she's in the conservative space. And she didn't flip like the guy who owns the Blaze, was his name, drawn a blank, but always been a never Trumper, and she's very vocal about that. Now, if she was on board with that, Glenn Beck, that's the name. So if she was on board with this stuff, she could have been running a honeypot operation during an election year to try to knock out conservative voices at a particular time, right? A certain timing. And that's what it, for all intents and purposes, looks that way. So it looks like they enticed in these content creators with huge sums of money. Dave Rubin was also involved. So Dave Rubin was also taking cash from this Tenet Media. And Tenet Media was getting like no viewership, like not very much viewership, to the point that, you know, Lauren Southern did a video expose on the fraud that's occurring within our immigration system when it comes to companies like Tim Hortons and all these other big box employers, saying, you know, with the LMIA scams. And so she was showcasing that, and it was getting no views. So I said, Lauren, you want to come on the show and talk about it? So I had her come on the show to talk about it. And yeah, so at least that conversation exists still on my show, because after this whole thing, the debacle happened, Tenet Media was deleted from YouTube. YouTube deleted it for terms of service violation. So yeah, it's such a messy situation, but it kind of, for me, and Mark Dice, who's done extensive coverage on this, I think he's onto something. I think he's called it a honeypot, and I think it's a honeypot. The idea is to entice these content creators in with large sums of money to basically just make content. And you got to remember, like even Tim Pool, for example, he was just licensing out content that he was already making anyway, and he was just licensing it out to be put on this Tenet Media YouTube channel. Lauren Chen is an example of what a post-national is. National. Okay. I'm not sure. So I stopped, like, I don't know much about, she starts talking about anti-Trump stuff. I'm like, yeah, not really keen on that, to be honest. And of course she fell off the map for me for a long time because I wasn't recommended many of her videos. So yeah, the honeypot idea would be the idea of luring a bunch of these people in with big amounts of money, and then breaking the news themselves, right? Breaking the news themselves that it was a honeypot, and then getting a lot of conservative voices silenced just before the election. Now it largely didn't work, because the it did with some people. So Lauren Southern fell off the map. She's lawyered up and she's not talking about the situation. But the indictment doesn't even indict her, right? The indictment is it says specifically that she and the other creators were not in the know of where this cash was coming from, that stuff. Tim Pool had a lot of hate for Canada recently. Is that right? Does anyone have a link of Tim Pool saying something hateful towards Canada? Because if anything, I could see Tim Pool having a lot of hate for the stuff that we've been seeing. So let's get into that. Because here's Trudeau with his tweet right after the Canada game. Now, this is the epitome of being a sore winner, win or lose, like, why pull this stuff out? And this is why the title of my video this morning was what was on the thumbnail? It was Canada's man-child. Because he's behaving like a child who doesn't know how being a good sport is. But it gets worse because of the context of this actual clip. But here's the clip anyway.
In my life, I've never seen anything like it.
It was absolutely atrocious, but you know what? The Americans had our flag on their floor in the dressing room, and now I want to know if they want us to sign it.
In my life, I've never seen anything like it.
So that comes from a lie. So here's the story. And this is interesting because this is a surreal moment. So if you guys know Alex Zoltan, he now works for True North, or what True North is now being called Juno. He writes for them. He's their crime reporter. But he's an excellent reporter on X nonetheless. He talks about a myriad of different issues on X. And somebody debunked this on X. I think it was Alex Zoltan. Oh, here I am talking about this. So the reason why Alex debunked this was Alex and I, about a month ago, somehow this came up in conversation. I chat with him a lot. We're friends, right? So, like, cat's out of the bag. We're buddies. Obviously, everybody knows we're friends. And if you didn't, then you know now. Zoltan's great. Yeah, he's fantastic. So somehow this came up. We were just talking about, like, narratives and things in Canadian history that were false, that people believed were real things. And this story came up because I think it was like right at the beginning of the tariffs and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's like people still believe that thing about the stomping on the flag at the women's Olympic hockey game. And we really talked about it and how so many people still believe that it's a real story. Like it's a real thing. And no, it's fake news. It has been fake news for a very long time. In fact, here's the article, and it's archived. I had to get the archive version because Globe and Mail, even all these years later, still has it behind a paywall. It's ridiculous. But Canada's flag wasn't desecrated. Too many sheeple eat this crapola up. Manufactured fear porn. Yeah, it is. It is. That's absolutely what it is. All sports are rigged. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not a sports ball guy. I'm not the type to sit down and do the sports ball thing. Or this is sports puck, I guess. Especially women's sports. Sorry guys, but whatever. This is the thing. So the Canadian flag wasn't desecrated. Now the story goes that just before the game, this was the finals, just before the game, the American women's team took the Canadian flag, put it on the floor, and they were spitting on it and stomping on it and having a laugh, right? Well, it's not true. And the truth behind the story is actually, I'm with you. I don't watch women's sports either. There you go. Beach volleyball is great. Yeah, for all the right reasons. He'd have you split loyalties. Vault is a distraction. Vault. Denise's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Denise. A group of lesbians lied? No! That's funny. Okay, so the story goes that they made this story. Team Canada made this story up. And they made this story up because they had some meathead player on their team that always needed something to be angry about. And if they would get angry, then they would play well. And if they weren't angry, they wouldn't play quite as well. So what they did was they made up this story, and I think it was like between the coach and the team captain or something like that. I don't know exactly or specifically, but it was something along those lines. Let's get them angry. So they made up this fake story about that they got word that this had happened over in the locker room on the American side. Of course, it wasn't true, but because they finished the game and they played the game, then what happens? Well, that player spills the beans of this fake story and says it on CTV News or on CTV with Don Cherry.
In my life, I've never seen anything like it.
It was absolutely atrocious, but you know what? The Americans had our flag on their floor in the dressing room, and now I want to know if they want us to sign it.
In my life, I've...
Haha, we got it. You want us to sign it? Blah, blah. So this is what started this thing, and the flag trampling hoax. It is. It's a big hoax. It's not true. Not true at all. But this is something that Justin Trudeau would love to drum back up in the Canadian psyche as something that the Americans did to us. Now, the Americans aren't innocent in all of this. Let's just be honest. Let's just be absolutely honest here. They're throwing in some digs, and Justin Trudeau just before the game saying, "I'm inviting Justin Trudeau, the Governor Trudeau of the state of the 51st state of the United States, the great state of Canada, to come watch the finals with him." Even Caroline Levitt was making fun, and she said this in the official White House press conference.
He looks forward to watching the game tonight, and we look forward to the United States beating our soon-to-be 51st state, Canada.
That's funny. It's ribbing. But then, because the Americans had their anthem booed in Montreal, which I denounced right away, and I said, this is awful behavior, don't do it. And what a veteran was singing, and in Montreal with Justin Trudeau, incidentally. Justin Trudeau was there, and he was in the crowd booing. I don't know if he was booing himself, but he was tweeting about how happy he was that he was there at the time. But in response to this, they go to Boston, and this is the scene that we see when "O Canada" is being sung. Wait, did you catch that line? You probably couldn't hear it over the booing. Not great. And like I said, Americans are now guilty of this as well. When press secretary said it feels more like an official and scary than Trump trolling, feels more uneasy from, sorry, it's scrolling too quick. Official White House. It's still a ribbing. Come on, give us a break here. Did you catch that line though? Couldn't hear it over the booing. Yeah, here's a better rendition of it.
True patriot love that only us command.
What? That only us command? So it's not even It's in all thy son's command, of course, is the original lyrics, but they changed the lyrics to, what was it? I can't even remember what they changed it to. This is a new version. This is the whole idea. Like, you can just, now that the anthem isn't even, it's not written in stone anymore, so you can just willy-nilly change it whenever you want. They did it in True Patriot Love That Only Us command is like the line for this thing, just to poo-poo on the Americans. Give me a break. It was changed specifically for this event, so that's crap. French first on the Canadian anthem, and lyrics changed to send a political statement. Oh, they did that? I didn't know that. The whole French thing. You guys know. I'm not so keen on the whole French thing myself. All thy sons command. I like that. Command. All thy sons command. But what French thing? I don't like being forced bilingual. Sorry. And in the modern age, the whole bilingual thing is becoming super obsolete anyway, because of AI. It's gonna be out to lunch really, really soon. It smells like Antifa in the crowd, both countries. Yeah, these are sports fans. They pay a lot of money to go to these events. They pay a lot of money. It's whatever. I'm not a fan of this rivalry crap. And of course, you've got guys like Trudeau that eat this stuff up because they're like, sweet, I'm dividing the people. As long as they're being divisive and it's working and people are falling for it, like the little seals that they ought to, clapping away, doing their thing, they're happy. Be the dumb little seals. Here's the bread and circus. Take it. And as long as you're not paying attention to how bad a job we're doing, we're good. There's so many people that are jumping to the side of Trudeau. Now, Alex did a big write-up. That's not the write-up. Alex had a big write-up. The story behind this moment is way more controversial than most people realize. So I just explained the story, and he did a huge write-up. I read it all out in my video this morning, so you can go check that out at your leisure. But yeah, basically this was, interestingly enough, something that Alex and I were discussing privately not too long ago. Great write-up. It was a great write-up. Absolutely. So we keep running into these weird, ironic situations, Alex and I, because we'll talk about scenarios and then they'll like appear, they'll happen, they'll like materialize in front of us. We're like, wait, weren't we just talking about that? This is one of those. We were discussing this really recently in private, and suddenly it became a national story again. And here we are, and there's Justin Trudeau. Yeah, are a seer, Clyde? You are a seer? What is that? What's a seer? I have no idea what that means. But eventually communism infiltrates. Yeah. Trudeau's divide and conquer politics. Canadians finally waking up to it, are finally pushing back. But so many are still falling for it. Holy cow. This whole, like, Donald Trump really gave Trudeau a present. No joke. And we'll see how long it lasts. But it is just oof. I'm really not happy. I'll just say about Canadians' eagerness to get on board with this team. I'm not saying don't be Team Canada. Of course, be Team Canada. But this isn't genuine. This is not genuine Team Canada whatsoever. At all. It isn't at all. And it has no semblance of it's so fake. It's so gross. And you know what it reminds me? And again, this is another one of those things that I've been talking about, and it's weird. It's just so strange that these things come up like after the fact, like way after, because I'm just pulling this up right now, because this was a short that Marty and I did a while ago. Yeah. How long ago was this? Hold on a second. I gotta find the date on this, because this was a short that I brought up a while ago, and I was like, holy cow. Why do we think that we're better?
Why am I so much better than you?
It's all made up. It's all made up.
It was the brainchild of Pierre Trudeau and others. They wanted, being next door to the big elephant, they needed to make sure we Canadians had a superiority complex. They needed to find something.
See, that's the thing. Be proud of being Canadian. Absolutely. There's so much to be proud about being Canadian. Don't for a second turn around and become this like Ivy Tower douchebag who thinks you're better.
I grew up in that era, and we were constantly told, Canadian television's better than American television.
But it isn't.
Canadian healthcare is better. Our institutions, everything. The lies or the brainwashing or the propaganda, whatever you want to call it, resonates. It's incredible how many Canadians to this day literally think that, we're better than the US on things that are absolutely false.
Crazy. We were talking about this so long ago. When was this even made? Holy cow. Is there like a description? When was this? December 6th, 2024. We were talking about this. Why are we so ahead of the curve? I don't know. And you know what? It's funny because when we talk about these things, it's like, it was no big deal. I mean, there's some people were pissed off that we said that, and they voiced their opinion. But then it was like, then it went dormant, and then all of a sudden, boom! Now it's like, you have to be Team Canada or else you're the worst. And it's like, well, I'm in the middle. I'm Team Canada and America getting along. I want that to be the case. You should work for PP to get him ahead of the curve. Well, yeah. So I've been, I get in trouble for criticizing as well. Holy cow. You just can't win for losing, can you? But I'd rather be in the position that I'm in regardless, because the internet's forever. I love this. Because I'll say what I gotta say, and either I eat crow or I'm vindicated. I like this. And I'm happy to eat crow. If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. You guys remind me if I'm wrong about something, because I'll absolutely eat crow. You guys seen me do it. You've seen me make videos saying, I was wrong about that. That's the thing. I'll absolutely do that. One day, Clyde, you will be a politician. Please don't. Please don't. No. I'd rather be doing what I'm doing, but just maybe in a bigger capacity. How about that? That would be fun. Team Canada won OT last night. Clyde, do something? Yeah, I know. I know they won. And it doesn't, like, either way, it doesn't matter to me. Maybe it's just because I'm not that interested in sports puck. I mean, that's not my thing. I'm not ripping on people who are into it, but it's never been my thing. But every time it's USA versus Canada, it's always a big deal. But that's the thing. Watch the 60 Minutes piece on German online censorship. Yeah, I'd like to check that out. Dual citizen here. Can't wait to be 51st. Well, I'm a dual citizen. And this is why I'm like, okay, if Canada becomes America, I mean, doesn't hurt my feelings. I love America. I absolutely love America. I love Canada. I can do that. I can love both. That I reserve the right to love both. But I definitely love the American Constitution much more. There are a lot more protections under the U.S. Constitution, for sure. And they were written by people who had a lot more thought behind all of that. I love both also. There you go. There you go. And speaking of which, because I see the Discord link right there, why don't we head on over to the Discord? We've been doing this for 2 hours and 36 minutes. I know last week I really spoiled you guys. Went like 3.5 hours. It gets exhausting sometimes. You cannot have two masters, Clyde. Before we end this stream, I do want to address that. You cannot have two masters. No, you can't have two masters. But this is I need to address this one. Holy cow, do I ever. Let's get into this. You cannot have two masters. When you live in a constitutional republic or the Westminster style democracy, we do not have masters. We have representatives. We don't have leaders. I know they want to call themselves leaders. They can be the leader of a party, whatever. Have that. Enjoy that. Have a good time with that. But you are not my ruler. You're not my lead. You're not my lead. You don't own me. At the end of the day, you want to impose things on me, and it's at the end of the day, you impose taxes, you impose these things. Is that a hill that I want to die on to go after you for that? Yes, taxation is theft. Yes, all these things are against the will of a free sovereign people. Yes. But you have to pick your battles. But at the end of the day, if you're going to imprison me because I disagree, sure, maybe in Britain, that's what they're trying to do. Take back your ownership. You own yourself. Absolutely. Are we free? No, they want to hold us down. They want to take that from us. But the moment that you know that you aren't free is the day that you have given up on the idea of your own self-ownership. And I know a lot of people in this community, they don't give up on self-ownership. Self-ownership is the right that supersedes all other rights. You don't have bodily autonomy unless you own yourself. You don't have property unless you own yourself. You own your body, then you can own the homestead that you make. You can own the fruits of your labor. Taxation is an extortion racket to get the things from you. Now, Donald Trump is moving towards another form. He even suggested he wanted to get away from income tax and go to taxing the External Revenue Service, where he taxes incoming goods coming into the United States and then get rid of a bunch of other things. So, and I'm not attacking the person who made that comment, but I just want to put that to rest. We own ourselves. You're not free the day that you accept that you're not free. I've always mocked things. I've always had a fun time making fun of government initiatives, making fun of things. I have an old post. I love it. It was before I even had glasses, and I was holding up a scroll, and it said on it because it was Canada Day, and I posted it out to all my friends, see if people would laugh, and it said on it, the rules and regulations for the celebration of freedom. Right? We're a free people. Express yourself as a free individual, because if you don't, then you're a serf. You're a serf. They'll take that from you. Anything that you give to people, they will take that and they'll be happy with that. It's how it works in any negotiation. But if you assert yourself as a free individual, yes, there are hurdles. People are extorting you. And you have to choose your battles. Where are you going to make your stand? We don't all have to have a Ruby Ridge situation, right? It's not all Waco, Texas, right? So we're absolutely not free. Well, you absolutely won't be if you keep that mentality. Remember that. So yeah, this is a battle. It's always going to be a battle. You know, the founding fathers, they talked about it. You know, the tree of liberty needs to be watered from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. We're hoping that it doesn't come to an actual conflict. And this is why we work so hard, to avoid the physical contact, the physical conflict that comes when all other avenues are lost. Freedom is never free. It costs folks like you and me. What's that? Freedom is $1.05. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. But be free. Be free in your heart, because that's where it comes from. If you've given up already, then you've given up. And I don't know where that goes from there. But I just don't have it in my spirit to submit myself to rulers or submit myself to other people. My freedom comes from Jesus Christ. Bless you all. Short rant at the end of the show, but I love it. I love it. I want to encourage people to take back that freedom. We're a free people. Never surrender it. Fight censorship. Fight everything. Fight all these battles. We all have our own battles, and we have to keep pushing for it. I want to invite everybody to the Discord. There's the link right there. Check it out. Come on over. The link is only available during the live stream. So if you're watching this after the fact and you're like, I clicked it and I can't get in, that's why. It's only available during the live streams. It'll be live for a few more hours or so. But if you want to join us in the Discord, head on over there. Love hanging out with you guys. Fridays are always fantastic. They're always a lot of fun. And I never know where it's going to go. I'll have some ideas and I'll cue some things up, and we'll try to get into some discussions, but that's how we end up on a Friday night. So everybody head on over to the Discord if you want to do that. If not, go check out some content from some of the other creators out there. Jasmine Lane's been doing some fantastic stuff. Over Opinionated is her channel name. Go check that out. I think we're going to be doing another collaboration coming up really soon. Go check out Northern Perspective. Go check out Frank Vaughn. Go check out all these great people out there that are doing great things. North 49RC with a $5 super chat last minute saying, look at the people who still follow government imposed mandates. It's all personal belief and not just an ideal. It is, absolutely. And I love talking about it. I love bringing it up, and I love discussing it. It is a thing. So thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We'll see you very soon. Everybody, keep on trucking.